You probably feel so relieved now that you've come out of type 2 and you're back in type 3.
So much better.
Yeah, you're look great.
Thank you. I feel great.
So these other 3 women, I'm a little bit like, ooh.
I know.
They're scary looking.
It's very intense.
Yeah, it's very intense. Although I think they hold it better than the type 2 because there's more color and they have more contrast.
Yeah. So, it's still not as good though.
No, they look like they're really made up.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's been put on.
Yeah.
Rawr. It's a little bit like, ooh, just intense, like gritty.
Yeah.
You can see it in your skin.
That's why we like it.
Yeah, I know.
It works for you.
Nice and textured.
So I've got a secondary type 3, and I feel like looks-wise, I can like kind of pull it off. I feel like the makeup is really heavy, and it doesn't settle well on my face.
You see a lot of the texture under your... Look at your eyes, though. Look at the lines under your eyes.
Oh, yeah, they're very, very...
Didn't know I had lines.
And in their forehead, even.
Yeah, I know I do have more texture in my forehead, and it just feels like this is very much sitting on. But even beyond how I look, how I feel is like we were taking some pictures, and I'm like, I feel like I just have to be like more intense and more like, all right, my
let's have a big cat fight right now.
Yeah, my foot plant has to be more intense. Just not like mean intense, but just like, okay, here I like just that more substantial energy. And I know what that feels like to some degree with my secondary 3, and when I'm even talking faster and louder right now. When I get into that, and I know if I were to wear this all day, it would feel very uncomfortable as I would try to keep up with the movement of this outfit.
Your hair looks a little bit like you've ratted, just usually it has a nice flow to it where it looks...
Yeah, I tried to add some texture. I feel like the color even is kind of off.
It doesn't look real healthy right now.
Yeah, it does. It looks more like dry.
Damaged.
Yeah.
It looks like your hair's damaged.
And honestly, all I did from type 2 to type 3 was kinked out a couple edges.
Well, Jaleah, I'm interested. You're so used to feeling light and fresh.
Yeah.
How's this working for you?
It's kind of interesting because I can see how a lot of type 1s could pop into a different type and be totally fine with it for a little while, Because as I was first starting to get dressed in it and put the makeup on, I was like, this really doesn't feel too bad. But it's when I put everything together, like when all the hair came together, I think that's why the 30-day challenge is so important. Because
that's something that...
If you're in the wrong type and then you've done all of the components... then you'll know it's not correct.
Yeah.
Because once the hair was finished, I was like, oh yeah, this is way too severe. Where before I was like, not too bad. But then I was like, what? So you have to do all of the components to really be able to fill and sit into your type and be like, hey, it's either correct or it's incorrect.
That's referring to once you've bought the Dressing Your Truth course, we take you through a 30-day experience of support through email and invite you to do 30 days true to your type. The hair, the makeup, clothing, all of it, all the components of your style. And you should know by the end of that
yes, it's correct. Or
it's just not feeling right still. It's not right.
Yeah.
Well, Kalista, you know, type 3 and type 4 energy both have a strong yang quality to it, but still these colors just are not flattering on you.
No, it feels just a little too... Like, even the richness of the undertone and the gold, I feel a lot of redness in my face. I feel really blotchy. It feels really... It's, like, heavy and fast at the same time.
Yeah, I feel that heaviness.
So it's like heavy, but, like, pushing forward. Like I've got to... I would get tired if I had this on for more than a couple hours because, like Anne said, I'd feel like I'd have to keep up with that movement. Like, all right, now I got to do this, and now I got to clean the house, and now I got to... organize this and create these reports and do all these things all like the same time. Like I feel so like that dynamic energy is coming out in a very overwhelming kind of way. Like it's pushing its way forward in my body.
Do you feel that energy when you? I mean, it's your energy, but like
what's balance?
It's more that if we're not dressed, we've got to be able to move in the things that we wear, so we can just feel that freedom of movement, and this empowers us to actually be more grounded so that we're not so pulled out, I would say.
I agree.
You're more balanced. Yeah. I'm noticing your jewelry because we look great in the dirty golds, brass, coppers, these heavy metals that have a more tarnished look. And on us, they kind of have a shine and a dynamic, rich quality, and on you, they just look dirty.
Feels dirty. Shine up my necklace or something.
Yeah.
Especially these earrings with
Yeah.
all those harsh angles.
Yeah.
It just it doesn't flow well.
And the
with me.
substantial quality too is very heavy.
Mhm.
And it's funny for me too because with being a type 1, I can wear bright shining gold, but the lines are so severe on this that it's just like too much.
Yeah,
You know.
and it's pretty structured.
Yep.
Yeah, and
too.
looking at you, Sarah, you're just gorgeous. And in the
Oh,
type
thanks.
1, your beautiful, dynamic, exotic eyes were just like, it wasn't holding with the makeup. And now they just like balance, like you said.
Right.
It enhances your beauty.
Yeah, I feel much more exotic, sexy. Like I feel confident in this.
What are you feeling? That's the kind of big aha that we think of fashion just as a style and fashion without taking ever into consideration that it has an effect on how we feel, both emotionally and physically. That is a big discovery when you start dressing your truth, and then you might occasionally go back to something you used to wear and you'll go, whoa, I can't pull it off and it doesn't feel right anymore. So we hope that you're feeling the effects of our experiment here, and we'd love to hear it in a comment. Let's move into our type 4 experience with, does dressing your truth make a difference?